Yes, people, welcome to another episode of Kicking It Back with the one and only, the true Yaya Chino Valachi coming to you live from Gold Coast, Australia. And yes, people, this is Kicking It Back where controversy meets reason. Yes, all opinions matters on this page. And also don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. And add me on Instagram so we can keep in contact, so you can keep sending me videos and direct messaging me so we can keep bringing you great content going forward. Also, people, don't forget to help me get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible so we can keep building this community. So let's jump into it right away. We're going to be talking about Ten Hag and Manchester United. We're going to be talking about Arteta and Arsenal. Are they the real deal? I think so. We're going to also be talking about Phil, the messy young English Foden. We're going to be talking about, is Graham Potter saving his job? Yes, it's all happening here on Kicking It Back with Yaya. Also, don't forget to look at the bottom of the screen to keep up with the match week results as we keep bringing you this content going forward. So let's jump into it. Let me just pull up a little. Let me just pull up a little picture here because I see all these memes going around, 7 Up and all these things, and people laughing at Man United for losing against Liverpool. Now, Man United has lost 2 games in the last 24. They've played the most games in Europe this season so far, and they're still going to play the most probably because they're still playing in 4 competitions. Now, do I think they're still in the Premier League title? That's a little bit rough at the moment. Unless Arsenal lose a few games and Man City lose a few games. I don't see that happening. But they're still in it because there are a lot of points to play for and they're still, mathematically, let me say this, mathematically, they're still in the fight. Logically, maybe not. But the more worse things is happening in football. We never know. So let me just pull up a little graphic here. Now, when we look at this, we realize, look at the statistics, win, draws, and losses. Now, when we look here at the statistics, we see that Liverpool has played 38 games all season. Their league position is fifth. They has 20 wins, 7 draws, 11 losses. They've also won the Community Shield. Now, I remember when Man City won the Community Shield, and many times when people consider Man City winning, having a treble winning season, people consider, said, oh, Jose Mourinho win a Community Shield at Manchester United. That's nothing. But for Liverpool now, all of a sudden the media going around saying, oh, Liverpool's won the Community Shield, da 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 da. Whatever. Let them have it. Especially they see ESPN FC and Optus Sport, which is the news station, not news station, but the platform used in Australia to stream. So basically the NBCSN for the Western area. Yes. They, if you look on their Instagram, they couldn't wait for Man United to lose. Man United won the Carabao Cup, you don't see anything. Man United on a 24 win streak, you don't see anything. For the last, since that result against Liverpool, if you look on their pages every week, they're putting up, oh, they're putting up some kind of meme to laugh at Man United because they need Man United in order for them to make money. It's facts. Without Man United, half of these stations, nobody would be interested. Nobody interested in Chelsea news. Nobody interested in Arsenal news. Nobody actually interested in Man City news. Actually, no one is interested. Everybody just wants to see if Man U win or lose. Now, look at Man United. They've played 4 more games than Liverpool. They already won the Carabao Cup this season. They were just on a winning streak, an undefeated streak. They've lost 2 games in 24. And also, look at it. They're 30 wins, 5 draws, 7 losses. It's not like they've played 10 more games more than Liverpool. They've played 4 more games more than Liverpool. Yes, it counts. because 4 times 9 is how much? Right, 280. Which means, no, I'm lying. I don't even know my maths. That's 360. Yeah, get back in school. Yeah, it's 360. And that means that 360 means that they have played 4 more 90-minute games. Now, people might say, oh, that's not a lot. That is a lot. An hour and 30 minutes out of your time is a lot. And on your body is a lot. Lots of y'all can't even run for 15 minutes. So don't judge people out there running for 90 getting kicked. Running 12 to 15 Ks a match. The level of intensity. You know what 12 Ks are? That's roughly around 8 miles. So think about that, my people. Now, you know, I say all that to say that, please, Liverpool fans, relax. It's one game. At the end of the day, even if you won 10-0, it would have you still just get 3 points. It's not like you just won the Champions League. Like, settle down, man. Also, if you are wondering, hey, why this guy have his hat on like this and what is he wearing? Well, this is Big Daddy, which is going to be coming out very soon. It's my clothing line. So just look out for the big announcement coming to you very soon. Y'all will be able to get the merch. Yes, we will be bringing out different gears. We have some great designs. Don't you worry. Just know that soon it will be available, and I hope you all support. Now let's continue. Graham Potter is actually saving his job. Not that I thought he would have lost his job, but he is saving his job. Now, when I say that, I mean he has realized that results are more important than the way of play. I feel like when he came in, he was trying to implement right away his way of playing. But that's the difference between a great manager and an inexperienced manager. And an experienced manager. Now, when I say a great manager, not because you're an experienced manager makes you a great manager. There are many managers out there with lots of experience, but they aren't great managers. But what it shows is that now he's learning that this is a results business. Like Thomas Tuchel came in, Chelsea football wasn't the most beautiful under Tuchel. It was boring, it was pragmatic, it was side to side. But Thomas Tuchel understood that this was a results business and he was winning trophies with Chelsea. Now, Graham Potter is now realizing that Chelsea fans are cutthroat, and he can't blame them. As have said many times on this channel, Chelsea is one of the most successful teams, not only English teams, but in Europe for the last decade. This is probably Chelsea's only season that they haven't really won or fought for a trophy. Now, they're into the round of 16 of the Champions League. But we're going to be bringing out another video on the Champions League. But just look at where Chelsea is. They're in the round of 16 of the quarterfinals of the Champions League. So, they are a few games away. They are actually 4 games away from a final. Now, they're already 10th in the Premier League. Does he prioritize the Champions League and then he's able to win the Champions League? I think Chelsea have enough quality to win the Champions League. People laugh, but don't forget, those players at Chelsea have won multiple massive titles, and their best player in the midfield, N'Golo Kante, especially in the Graham Potter system with the quick transitional football, playing behind players like João Felix, Kai Havertz, Raheem Sterling. You name it, they have quality. N'Golo Kante will allow these guys to blemish. People laugh about Conor Gallagher, right? Conor Gallagher and N'Golo Kante with a Matthew Kovacic will haunt so many teams. Conor Gallagher with a Zakaria or a Mason Mount with a Zakaria and an N'Golo Kante. You can't outwork that midfield. Let us not sleep on Mason Mount as well. He's a youngster who came from Derby, who actually played the assist pass to a young Kai Havertz to help Chelsea win the Champions League. Now, let's not forget Chelsea won the Champions League a couple seasons ago. People out here talking about Liverpool and Liverpool. Last season, they said Liverpool was the greatest team in Europe because they had a chance to win a quadruple. They were this close to winning a quadruple. But at the end of the day, nobody fucking remembers who comes second. You understand? You can lose two finals 1-0. You can lose the league by 1 point or even by goal difference. At the end of the day, nobody remember their games who win the league. Nobody remembers who do not win the league. People only remember who win the league. That's why when people talk about Ole Gunnar Solskjaer coming second, Jose coming second and third, people laugh because people thought that those weren't accomplishments. But then, at the end of the day, if Arsenal don't win the league, nobody's going to remember that Arteta took them from not coming in the top four for the last from since 2016, and this will be their first finish in the top four. Yes, that is a dig at Arsenal because Arsenal fans fail to realize they have not qualified for the top four in the last 6 years. Their last top four finish was in 2016. Let us not forget this, Arsenal fans. So all this hype y'all have around y'all, this and this and this and this. Bruv, you guys have not qualified for Champions League football since 2016. Just let that soak in. But let me say, Arteta is doing a great job. And you know that result against Bournemouth, right, is a result that, yeah, everybody like to say champions mentality, but it's not really champion mentality, no. That just shows the progress in which Arsenal has took from when Arteta first got the job to where they are now in terms of the mentality. They're a very young team. Like the average age on that team, the only person on Arsenal team that's actually pretty old is Xhaka and Partey in terms of experience, but not of age. Now, when you look at the rest of the squad, it's such a young squad. That squad is going to be together for the next 5, 6 years. And it's crazy because people fail to realize that Martin Odegaard, as much as we've heard about this kid for so many years, he signed for Real Madrid at 15 years old. You do not sign for Real Madrid at 15 years old if you can't play football. It's just impossible. That team only signs superstars. They sign stars in the making and they sign superstars. Now, have they ruined lots of careers? Of course they have. But so has Man United. So has Barcelona. Ruined lots of careers. But that is because you can't walk into a squad, or not a squad, but a club of such magnitude and then expect for you to just like be able to play the best or be the best because it's hard. The pressure, the media coverage, it's not easy. Look at like people like Mason Greenwood and so. With the wrong guidance, you can make massive mistakes. Now, when you look at Arsenal, right? I am actually really proud of Arsenal. Now, I, as much as I diss Arsenal, I actually really like Arsenal. I actually really like what Arsenal stands for. When people talk about way of playing and possession-based football and Pep Guardiola, bruv, Arsene Wenger had Arsenal playing Pep Guardiola football, so-called Pep, even if Arsene Wenger's been there way before Pep even thought about being a coach, right? People talk about Arsene Wenger and Pep Guardiola evolved the Premier League. No, didn't. Arsene Wenger evolved the Premier League, and then Pep came again and evolved the Premier League. But Arsene Wenger had Arsenal playing this tiki-taka football all the time. Eh, he actually was more focused on a way of play than results based. Hence why Arsenal wasn't more successful, in my opinion, because Arsenal would go and outpass Barcelona in football games. We watched Jack Wilshere manhandle a Barcelona team. People, let's not forget this. Like, let's give Jack his jacket. Like, we have to give people their props when they actually do it. And I feel like sometimes, yes, we are fans and we support our boyhood teams and this and that, but when you love football, you have to notice everything and you have to be in. Not only do you have to be, your attention to detail in terms of the game just has to be a level above. Now, I really love soccer. I could sit on here with y'all all day and talk football, hence the podcast. But, you know, you have to give Jack his jacket. Sometimes you just have to really notice when there have been massive foundations in place for managers to go there and do good. Now, that is why Arteta has evolved this team so quickly. And I must say, even if Arsenal finished 8th and 5th and 5th and stuff like that under Arteta, every year you could have seen a development. Now, there were parts in his tenure where there were lots of Arsenal fans, the same ones coming at me on Facebook and Instagram, trying to laugh when I told them, relax, let the man have time, let Arteta do his thing. They said, oh, Arteta out. All of them. All of them. I remember in Antigua when I was on the field playing soccer with my friends, right? All the Arsenal fans would be there talking about, oh, Arteta out. He don't know what he doing. Look at what he doing. He have the team playing like poop. Everything. And I'm like, bruv, yeah, relax. Look at what the man doing. The man building young players. The man doing this. Me and my brother, big up to you, Golly. Yes, Willie. Me and my older brother would have massive arguments at his house. But I would just wind him up because, he's an Arsenal fan. So I just wind him up. But in the back of my mind, I know his coach doing really well. Look how he sent William Saliba on loan. Look at William Saliba now. Now, Willie Saliba, I wouldn't say he's the greatest centre back in the EPL, but his gradual progress to now being an integral part in what Arsenal is doing is great. Look at how he has evolved soccer. Soccer never used to go down the line, take players on every time. Now, every time Bukayo Saka picks up the ball, every time Saka pick up the ball, just like when Rashford pick up the ball right now in the Premier League. I feel like those are the only two players when they pick up the ball in the Premier League, the whole crowd just goes silent. Everybody just wants to see what these young men are going to do with the ball. And is it a coincidence that they're English? Nah. England just have a great young generation going forward. When it comes to players like Sancho, Saka, Rashford, Nketiah, because that guy is a poacher in the making. That young man right there, you call Eddie Nketiah. He's just a different striker. He just sense where the goal is. He might not be the most skillful, but his little movement in the pockets, in terms of his 18-yard box movement, I don't see there's many young strikers that are as good as him. You know who else is a young striker, but he doesn't play in the Premier League, but he has that similar movement as well as a massive burst of speed, is Mendy, which is the striker from Moni or whatever his name is, that young French striker that Didier Deschamps picked over Martial at that plays at Frankfurt. If y'all have time, check out a Bundesliga game when this young man is playing. Even when they play like the Bayern Munich and the Borussia Dortmund, that kind of level, or the RB Leipzig. Wolfsburg is doing well, so I would recommend you watch a game against Frankfurt and Wolfsburg and just watch this young man's movement in the penalty area. Now, people talking about, man, you get Victor Osimhen, but I actually believe they should get that kid. I will also be bringing out a few videos of, just like a little scouting report on what I think the teams around need and who I think they should buy, and, just to make it a little more interesting. So don't forget to check out those videos here on the one and only channel with the one and only Yaya on Kicking It Back. Yes. So talking about young English generation, let's talk about also the Messi, the English Messi, because I don't know how they call Jack Grealish the English Messi, and he's also like 28 years old. But let's talk about the Phil Le Messi though, the Foden. Yo, Philly Foden. That kid, oh my God. Every time Foden pick up the ball, right, his technical ability is beyond par. Like, this guy is so technically gifted. It is scary to know what he's going to be at like 25 years old. I swear when this guy hits like his peak age, right? Oh my God, 25 to 28. If he keeps up the way he is playing right now, right? I promise you, the quality this guy has, people, it's scary. Like, look at the goal he scored against Newcastle. Bro, he just picks up the ball, drags two players, gets in the box, tucks it in the back of the net. Like, and you don't even hear no hype about it because he's so technically gifted. He can just do it again next week. That kid can literally do it again next week. He's probably gonna do it again in the Champions League against Leipzig, and you're gonna be like, oh my God, look at this kid. Like, I think the best thing happened to Philly Foden was Pep Guardiola. Now, why I say that is, Pep Guardiola, yeah, he can be a hard, like a dickhead sometimes. Excuse my language. Sorry, YouTube. But sometimes he can be a real pain in the ass. In terms of, he just think that no player bigger than him as a coach. But he also think that no player bigger than his system. And when you look at players who want out like Cancelo, who's now, I don't know why he left Man City, because he could have been playing for Man City, because he's not even playing for Bayern Munich. You know what I mean? So he leaves City to go Munich and now hasn't played in the last couple games. Now he kicking up a tantrum. Bruv, you should have just stayed at Man City. You would have played. You understand? Now, and he have a chance to win a trophy. It's not like Bayern Munich guaranteed to win the Bundesliga this season. This is one of the first seasons they feeling the pressure. Because when you have a young, again talking about young English players, a young Jude Bellingham, who is probably the biggest prospect on the transfer market this summer, him and Victor Osimhen are going to be two of the biggest players on the market in terms of longevity, age, and the demands from big clubs for these players. Bro, Jude Bellingham is smashing the world right now. Every game this kid plays in, he affects it. He might not score goal, he might not get assists, but he's giving you an 8 or 9 or a 10 out of 10 performance. Like, the kid is smashing it. And he's not even 24 years old. He's not even yet in his peak age. So whoever gets this kid has a kid for the next 5 to 6 years. And especially if an English team gets Jude Bellingham, because Real Madrid shit pushing out lots of money to get this kid, right? But I don't think he's gonna go to Real Madrid. But who knows? There's a massive possibility, you know. He's spent lots of years in Germany. I can see him going to Spain, but I feel like he's English, the English Premier League. He wants to go home and prove himself. You know, like he's young. You know, he can always go to Real Madrid when he's 28. Like if he keeps smashing it at an English club, Real Madrid is gonna still trying to buy him. It's not like Real Madrid ain't gonna not buy him. And I feel like, yeah, he can go to Real Madrid, yeah, he can go, and they have a midfield of Tchouameni, Kaminga, and Bellingham, which is a future midfield for a couple of years. But I don't think he would stay at Real Madrid his whole career because he's English. He's definitely gonna want to go to England and prove himself. Like he is from the country that has the most competitive league in the world. You know, people would say it's the best league. I think it's the most competitive league. If the best league is the Champions League, no doubt about that. The best league is the Champions League. No, it's not a league, it's a cup. But in terms of, if we just talking about league competition itself, I think the English Premier League is the most competitive league. I wouldn't say it's the best league. I don't think there's a best league because the top teams in other leagues can beat the top teams in the Premier League. And it has showed many times. Real Madrid tired win the Champions League. You know what I mean? And it doesn't mean that they're playing in the greatest league. Now, when I mean competitive, I mean the bottom team in the Premier League can be the top team on any given day, more than any other league in the world. So let's respect the sport. I don't think there's a best league, but I think it's the most competitive league. Now, as I said before, on there are a lot of things going on also with like VAR decisions and referees decisions. Now, there was a big issue going on the other day with when Arsenal won the the game in the 97th minute, right? Now, I made a post which said, I was talking to, I was just reacting to a few things on, the social media. And I was telling the guy, yes, the referee can play on the game, but that doesn't mean that that's what the rules are. Because if the referee was to blow the game at 95-59, it is more it is more in his it is better for him to blow off the game then than it is for him to blow off the game in the 97th plus minute. Now, there weren't any stops really in that time for the referee to then play on the game for a whole minute after, and had so many transitional moments in the game. He allowed Bournemouth to go up the pitch. Let's not forget now, like, somebody can go down the pitch in 10 seconds, 8 seconds. It's not hard. 3 seconds. You understand? So, when you look at that now, and you look at the whole situation, you realize that the referee played on the game. Not only did Ramsdale pick up the ball, not only was there a throw in, not only was there a shot that led to a corner, but then they then had time to take the corner, and then they scored from the corner. Now, if that referee was being assessed, he would have probably been assessed low. I have many friends that are referees, and I'm telling you, like, they're always being assessed. It's like they have a teacher always watching them. Y'all don't even know these things, lots of you fans. Y'all just think these referees is out here refereeing, and then after they just, nah, these people are assessed a lot. I don't know who these assessors are because some of them need to be fired. But in any other terms, these referees, they, yes, I know they want to play the game and build intensity, but sometimes I feel like, yes, rival fans look into the small things to make issues, but I also feel lots of times these referees make these issues prevalent by the way they blow these soccer games. So at the end of the day, it don't happen. Arsenal got 3 points. Man United got spanked by Liverpool. Ten Hag needs to realize that going to Anfield isn't a joke. Graham Potter has saved his job, even if he wasn't going to lose it. And let's just big up Arsenal. Also, when we look at the bottom part of the table, let's not even talk about, I don't even know what's going on with West Ham and Leicester and Southampton. We're going to have a little chat about these guys another day. But yes, people, thank you for tuning in again to another episode of Kicking It Back with your boy, Yaya Chino Falaci. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the page. Add me up on Instagram. I hope you all have a great day. I hope you all have a great afternoon, a great morning, a great night, whatever time or wherever you are looking at this. Continue to keep your heads up. For those who need a little bit of encouragement, I hope anything y'all pursue today and in the future, y'all know that no matter how many obstacles come your way, y'all have it under control. Continue to keep safe, continue to be safe, and I'll see you again in the next video. Ciao.